Hey everybody, guess what? This week I've got Michelle, your favorite travel agent with Travel Advisors Unlimited, and I'm introducing her. And say hi, Michelle. Tell us about you. Where do you live? All the stuff and things.
Hi there, everybody. I am Michelle, not to be confused with the other one. I'm Michelle E. And I live in southeastern Wisconsin. So I'm used to traveling in all the seasons when it comes to living in this area.
I love that. And you have a specialty. Your niche is these like really detailed itineraries. Tell everybody about this.
So part of the reason why I got into doing being a travel agent is I've been planning itineraries for myself, my family, and my friends for at least the last 10 years. And I just think it's fun. It was like one of my hobbies that I would do after I'd be done working my day job. I would sit down and watch different YouTube videos and just look at different places out in the United States to go see and do. And I would put together these itineraries. One of my favorite ones that I did was when we did Yellowstone and the Grand Tetons, but we also stopped in like the Badlands in South Dakota. And I had things broken down to like, this is the distance between, in Yellowstone, this one location to the next location, and would time things out on what you could really get done in one day as to how much you want to get done. Some people are good with like rush, rush, rush. Some people want to just spend the time at one location all day long. And I can make that work because I dig in. And there's places, that I can find that'll tell you how long it's going to take to go see this area. And I like doing that because for me, it's made my trips more enjoyable with my family and friends.
Yeah, and that's exactly it, you guys. So when you go on and you're like, oh my God, this sounds amazing. I want to do state or national parks or monuments or just even like a dude ranch or something like that. And you're going to do this amazing road trip. There's specific places that you can stop along the way. You've been there, you've done it.
Yes.
You're like, hey, there's a really cool place that you should stop off at. By the way, they've got really nice bathrooms. So it's like that's the value that Google and all those other places, they're not going to have that. You have just an expansive knowledge of the United States demographically, and you really study it and then you're hands on with it. That's such a value.
Yes. Yes, because one of the goals that my husband and I set when we became parents is to get our son to the lower 48 states by the time he's 18. And when you think about the lower 48 states, each area is so different. It's like in Europe, there's all different things. You think about it, we've got 48 different countries here in the United States. And what we've seen in Maine is completely different than what we saw in Southern California. And what was crazy is last year we did Maine and we did Southern California and a whole bunch of other stuff in between. And you get to see how different, people live and
Even their
get to
accents.
experience it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. And see, you guys, and just like Michelle just said, like literally, she went from the tip top of northeastern United States to the tip bottom of west southwestern the United
Yes.
States. So, and everything in between. So, having somebody who just doesn't talk the talk and actually walks the walk and has been their hands on, that's the value. That's who we hire at Travel Advisors Unlimited. So, not only domestic, like really good itineraries, like we were talking about, but you book everything else, right?
I do because my family, we do love to be bougie and go sit on a beach at an all inclusive and have somebody take care of us. And a couple of years ago, it was fun. We took a whole group of friends and we went to St. Lucia and celebrated my husband's 50th birthday. And that was the perfect way to do it, where we didn't have to do anything and somebody else takes care of us. So I enjoy that also. I don't have to drive everywhere. I do like to fly to places also and want to get other people there. And what I will do it for families and just couples, because my husband and I have done that on our own too. But I love booking for families, and I know what it's like to travel with kids of all ages. Granted, mine's in middle school right now, but we've literally been traveling with him since he was born.
Yeah.
We even if it was just getting out of the house and we went to a state park to just have a lunch at, we like to get out and do everything. And having a kid never stopped us from doing that.
That's so awesome. The perspective of the travel agent helping
Mhm.
somebody who maybe like, I'm not quite sure here or there yet. This is like you're a
Yeah.
perfect match for those 100%. So you're also part of a cool club too. So you kind of do some different things with your Jeep,
Yes.
yeah?
We we go Jeeping, and my husband and I are a couple of the administrators for a Jeep group based out of Wisconsin here, and help plan events to teach the new people or just get the old people that have been doing this forever out and playing with your Jeeps. And it doesn't have to just be in Wisconsin. We've taken them all around to different parts of the country to go off-roading. And, um, you know, between my knowledge of where to find these things and then my husband's knowledge of this is what you need to do to stay safe. I
Yeah.
do some of the driving too, but uh, that's his thing. He watches videos on people being recovered from from Jeep, incidents where you're stuck and things. So between the two of us, we've got a lot of knowledge on that besides our friends that we travel and do um off-road jeeping stuff with also.
I love that. So you are a husband-wife powerhouse team with
Yes.
group travel. You book worldwide travel
Yes.
with families in mind, and you are detail orientated with domestic road trips. I mean,
Right.
that's you've got a very tall plate there, and yeah,
And another, to throw in with the road trips, another thing people get concerned about is traveling with their pets and dogs.
yeah,
And that's one thing that I look at because we have a chocolate lab that we try to travel with everywhere. And let's face it, some of the national parks are not dog friendly, which is
mm-mm,
understandable. Like Yellowstone, don't want your dog falling into one of the the hot springs. But
mm-mm.
I know where to take the dogs in the different national parks and where you can go with them also, because we do that.
Yeah, and
He,
that's
he
that's
comes pretty
huge.
much everywhere with us.
Yeah, for
If we're doing
sure.
a road
We
trip, we
travel with
have a
ours.
phone with him, but like we've stayed in hotels, we've stayed in, the campgrounds and that with our dog. So
Yeah.
uh, that's something I have to look into also, and what different states and their guidelines are on
Yeah.
bringing your pets in for things also,
Oh my
or
gosh,
into other
that's
countries.
huge.
We've gone into Canada with the dog. I know what it's like to have to cross the border, and I've done it in multiple different places in the United States also.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's huge to know. That's huge to
Mhm.
know. I didn't even think about that. Like for me, when we were up in Wisco, I would just hop in the car thinking like if I had our dog in the back of the car and we want to go over to Pancake Bay or something like that on the north side
Mhm.
of Superior and do a
Yep.
little road trip, like no, there's like I didn't. What happens if they stop us at border control or
Yep.
whatever? Okay, so
Yep.
that's the value of you knowing what
Yes.
you're doing.
I've been crossing the border into Canada since I was 3 years old. So I've gone through tons of different, um, some searches and some not, but
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love that. I remember this one time that Tessa, my oldest, and I went through. We did a little camping trip and we went through Sault Ste. Marie.
Mhm.
And I had brought Mace with us because it was just me and her. And I'm like, oh, this is how I'm going
Right.
to protect us, right? Yeah, no, they
Right.
took that. We had to surrender Mace at the
Yes.
border. I'm like,
Well, that's something. So my family, we would do fishing trips in Canada, in Ontario every year, and also doing some hunting trips. And there's the specific guidelines. You can bring firearms into Canada, but it's just knowing some of that stuff and things you might not know about booking those types of trips.
yeah,
And I've done it personally, so I've experienced those.
yeah.
And there is places that we can get you hooked up for things like that also.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. See, this is why everybody, it doesn't matter if I'm the owner, I need to hire people smarter than I am to be able to make this machine work. Hence,
Yeah.
Michelle. So,
Thank you.
okay. So, looking at 2025, what do we need to tell your future clients and your current clients that you're working with? Oh, actually, wait, before we end with that one, your favorite client that you work with. Who's been your favorite client?
So I have a group of three girls that it's their senior year of college, and they wanted to take a spring break trip. And I know what it's like to be, when I was in my early 20s and trying to figure out the best place to go and a safe place to go. I've been there, and I'm also a parent. Granted, not to girls, but I'm still a parent and want to make sure that they're going to the safest place possible and getting the best deal. And these girls have just been the sweetest, well, they're young women to work with on these things. And so happy, so thankful, so excited to go on their trip. And they've just been a joy to work with.
Awesome. Oh, that makes it so nice.
Yes.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
that.
I remember being them and, trying to book my first cruise when I was in my early 20s or going on an all inclusive at that time and kind of being clueless.
Yeah.
And luckily, I was lucky at that time to have some people to help walk me through it. And I like being able to do that for others now in return.
Oh, that's such a great answer. That's such a great answer. Okay, so for your ending 2025, for the future clients and the existing clients, what are your
Yeah.
goals and what are you hoping to accomplish in 2025?
Well, me personally, I want to at least get my family on a cruise probably later this year or do some different all inclusive, something that I want other people to see. Um, and have my own point of view on those things. So that's something personally I have a goal with, to help everybody else out, seeing what I've done. But I also want to make sure I book some more, get some more itineraries out there for people. I've worked on one already earlier, um, this year for someone, and I just want to get more of those out there, more of my experiences. Starting this last year, um, I've done so many things, but I hadn't documented. It's all in my brain.
Yeah.
So I'm working on documenting more of that stuff to get that out there for everybody to see what what we can do and where you can go and what you can see. Because I'm doing better at documenting where we're going now on trips so that I can, you know, not have to refer back in my mind. But I want to get more of that
Love
out there
that.
for everyone.
I love that. And I'm sitting here thinking how amazing would that be for our new web designer that's working on
Mhm.
our stuff, for them to be able to click something and say, hey, obviously it's going to cost, or
Yeah.
whatever, but you could put together some pre-planned summer road trip itineraries for
Yep.
families.
Right.
So we could use Canva, make it look really pretty for them, put some pictures
Yep.
on there, step-by-step stuff, and even maybe the Viator link on there for clients as well, so that they can,
Right.
you know,
And I've been working on that. I actually just went through probably the last 15, 20 years worth of my photos
yeah,
and pulling out stuff that I've seen and done that I've kind of forgotten about,
yeah,
that I'm like, this would be amazing for people to do, whether it's just a weekend, trip. You can take something 5, 6 hours from southeastern Wisconsin, or honestly, if you're other places in the country, I've hit so many different places that I can
yeah.
find you something. Um, so it can be from a weekend to like 2 weeks or something if you want to go venture out around the United States and find something.
I
So
love
I've been
that.
working myself on going through all of these and working on putting stuff together to have, different daily posts and itineraries and ideas for people that we can put together for them for things that I've already experienced and
Yeah.
seen and done.
I love that. You know what
Mhm.
Shelby was actually talking about you the other day? Because my youngest, everybody,
Mm.
because she's a Twilight fanatic, and they're
Oh,
doing, I think Netflix has like, where you could binge all of them. So she's like,
right.
Mom, we got to go to Forks. You got to message Michelle. We got to go to Forks. We got to go to La Push. And I'm like,
And I actually just did a whole bunch of research on that
yeah.
area at the end of last year. So
That's so cool. Well, Olympic
there's
National Park and just
yes,
like that whole situation. There's hot
yep,
springs, the trees, just everything.
yes.
That's a great experience. I mean, and these teenage girls, let me tell you.
Yeah, it's great. There was some stuff that I just learned about Olympia because I will admit I have not been to that one yet, but I was doing a bunch of research because it's on my radar to get to. And um I was surprised at how big the park is
Yeah.
and you know, what you can and can't do like in a day there. I was very surprised.
Yeah. I'm excited. Maybe that'll be your next itinerary that we got to put together.
Yes.
And then we'll take Shelby and Zoe. It'll be a girls' trip.
That'd be great.
It'll be fun. I'll give you the taste of the other side of not having a boy. Anyway, but all right, you guys. Well, this is Michelle with an E. So if you're going to email Michelle, I will put it below for you guys as well. But it's MICHELLE, two E's at the end, at traveladvisorsunlimited.com. So there she is. We'll
Thanks,
see you.
guys. It was nice seeing everyone.
Yeah. Bye.